go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of keeping and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of keeping and so forth. Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of keeping and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamma Chanje Bandu Dani Gyapsu Dagi Jinzo Gebe Tsonamge Tola Venger Sanje Drubarashu Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamma Chanje Bandu Dani Gyapsu Dagi Jinzo Gebe Tsonamge Tola Venger Sanje Drubarashu Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamla Chanjo Bado Dani Gyapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Kebe Tsonamge Tola Venger Sanje Drubaresho. Okay, we read the three principles of the path. Page number? 78. Okay. The three principal aspects of the path. As we read this, we have to identify 3 points with each of the three the principal parts. The first one, renunciation, for 3 points. The reason why to cultivate renunciation, how to cultivate renunciation, and the measure having cultivated renunciation. So we'll identify these so well. And then for the Bodhicitta, the reason why to cultivate is indicated, and how to cultivate it is indicated. And the measure having cultivated is not indicated there, because this what you have to extend from the one presented for the renunciation, you apply this to the Bodhicitta. And for the wisdom of emptiness, all three are well indicated. Okay, with this mind, let's read this together. I bow down to the Venerable Lamas, as well as I'm able. I'll explain the essence of all the teachings of the Buddha, upon praise but upon great children, entrance for those who desire liberation. Listen to the clear mind, you fortunate ones, who are not able to enjoy sacred existence. Strive to make good use of vision and opportunity, and direct your minds to the path that pleases the Buddhas. And enter attraction in is unattainable. The craving for existence also binds beings, thus from the outset seek renunciation. It was an attraction to this life, but reflect on how relation and opportunity are difficult to find again, finding how life is ephemeral and without span. It was an attraction to future lives, but repeatedly thinking of the infallibility of karma and its effects and miseries of samsara. Contemplating thus, when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of sacred existence, eliminating temporal liberation day and night, renunciation morning and then. Renunciation, if not tempered by pure mind of Bodhicitta, however, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unpleasant enlightenment. Therefore, the wise ones generate excellent mind of Bodhicitta. Severed in the current of 4 powerful rivers, tied by strong bonds of karma who are hard to undo. All 9 men of self-grasping, contemplating, born and reborn in boundless sacred existence, ceaselessly tormented by 3 miseries. Thinking of your mother in this condition, generate the supreme mind of Bodhicitta. Although you train in renunciation and mind of Bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes the ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of sacred existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. One sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana, and destroys all focuses of attention, has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. Appearances are infallible dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding that is truth assertions. As long as these two are seen as distinct, you have not yet realized the intelligent Buddhas. When these two realizations are concurrent, when the real side, infallible dependent origination, concurrently destroys all modes of grasping to a different discernment, at that time the analysis of the profound views is perfected. Furthermore, appearance is refuge the extreme of existence, emptiness is refuge the extreme of non-existence. When you understand that emptiness arises in the form of cause and effect, you are not captivated by the view of extremes. O my child, once you have thus realized the counsel of the three principal parts, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination, and quickly reach the final inspired goal. Okay. For the Bodhicitta again, we are continuing with the second method, the method of utilizing self and others, to utilizing exchanges of others, which are Bodhicitta. And there was this great teacher, a Tibetan master, I think around 12th century AD. And his name is Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, referred to as the Bodhicitta Damdul. And if you look at his biographies, it's very interesting. He was, of course, a great scholar, plus a lifelong retreatant. And since childhood, he demonstrated extraordinary qualities of compassion. If you look at these, it's very inspiring, and for us, how we have been behaving since our childhood, how we demonstrate our innate, and the thought process is very different from how this great teacher manifested his quality of compassion when he was a small child. It was like when he was perhaps like 6, 7 years old, very little. And and he was born in a nomadic family in Tibet, and they close it, very cold place, and they have only the animal skin, the animal fur skin, what we call animal skin, the clothes. We call it chuba. Chuba, you know that? For the boys, girls both have their own chubas. And this small boy has his own share of the chuba, the dress, with the animal skin. Very cold. And he went out for refreshing himself. Coming back, he came naked. A little boy came to the house naked, and all the relatives, parents, the others, where's your chuba? And he was not uttering a word. And they just went out to see when he left the chuba. And they found the chuba on a bush, his small chuba on a bush. They were wondering why he kept it here. Then they gradually, gently moved the chuba out, and they saw a spider on the bush there. So what was going in this young little boy's mind was that I'm huge, and the spider is so tiny. I'm huge with this dress, with the animal skin. Still I feel cold. This spider is so tiny, does not have any clothes. He must be feeling so cold. So he gave his chuba to him. It's amazing compassion. Just think of that, a tender child, age like 5, 6, could just feel that empathy for others. And one time he was taken by his uncle from one place to another, and suddenly there was the very strong storm there, wind blowing. And the wind blowing, and the leaves, all leaves, they were being blown in the air, and looking at the sky with the leaves blowing, this young boy would cry, scream and cry. And the uncle knows that this boy is very special. And the uncle knows why he is crying.
Can you guess why he's crying? Huh?
Because of the bird is suffering?
Yes, he thought that these leaves are birds and these birds are being carried away by the wind. They are being, they are suffering terribly. So this boy was feeling the pain for these birds, and crying. And the uncle would say that, a stupid boy, these are not birds, these are all leaves. And instantly the boy would stop crying. So this is among the love and affection, compassion that this young boy demonstrated as a young child, as a tender child. So if you practice it, each one of us, how many of us demonstrate these qualities when we're young, right? If somebody gives you chocolate, and share the chocolate with your brother, you do like this, right? This is most of us. This is who we are like. So whereas this boy is very different. It's a matter of practice. In this life, if you practice the way we learn now, if you sincerely practice, we can see that our mind, our heart is expanding. You become more and more compassionate. So usually what happens is that a young child age, generally speaking, not too sure, but generally speaking, a young child age 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, they are more clean in their mind. They are not too sophisticated. They are not too, cunning. And then as you grow older, 30, like 20, late 20s, 30s, 40s, one can become really very cunning, right? So as you grow older, you can become more and more cunning. This is what happens. Oh, Maria, you're here? Where's Pablo? I thought two of you left.
Yeah, it's because it was raining a lot and
So two of you cannot escape from Bodhicitta retreat. You cannot escape from Bodhicitta retreat. So they try to escape after the Deer Park retreat. Again, they were brought here for 2 days. Then more days. Then in the last day, they could not escape. Okay. It's a matter of practice. If you practice, this is what's bound to happen, your mind expands. Otherwise, our mind becomes worse to worse. That, like say, let's say for the bureaucrats. Bureaucrats, when you're age 20s, what you do is very clean, it's fine. And then you learn how to, not all, some bureaucrats, the elder ones, and the bureaucrats, they're just amazingly kind, compassionate, extremely kind, very helpful. Exceptional ones are there always. But if you are not being careful, if you don't meet with the good, let's say the family members, good environment, and like some kind of Sangha community and so forth, then one can become very cunning. Bureaucrats, likewise the politicians, anyone, not only the bureaucrats, anyone can be very cunning if we don't really practice. But finally, by being cunning, people may see that he or she is very successful. Not successful. Tibetans are so unhappy. You're very unhappy. And who loves somebody who is cunning? No people love you. So you're an animal, a social animal. So whereas when you are very loving and caring, then everybody loves you. Look at his Holiness the Dalai Lama. Everybody loves him. Everybody in the world, from every way, people are so ready to come to spend these resource, time, and the energy, whatever, in order to just, see the face of His Holiness. So, this is, it's a matter of the practice. If you practice, yes, and these two methods are amazing. Now, if you don't practice these two methods, what I would say is that even if you include the 4 vegetables, which we do every day in the mornings, if you do that, yes, it will sustain you, but it will not progress you further. It will sustain you there. It will not make you go down to make you more and more cunning. as you become older and older, right? The kindness can be demonstrated in the form of a very strange smile. You see the smile, it's very irritating, right? There's a tremendous cunningness there. Know how to exploit you, know how to just dump you. So this, other people may feel scared of you, but actually it is self-deception. You do this and you suffer. And the consequence of these is karmic consequences are very severe. For you to take birth in a place, in a situation where you have no freedom, that you will be just like a slave. You will be just like tortured, terribly and endlessly. These are the consequences. And also that within the very life you will not be happy at all. You know that you are very unhappy. This is nothing great. There's nothing great there. This, the arrogance, the ego. There's nothing great there. These are all the signs of your weakness, not a sign of strength. So we have to do something to practice in this life to make sure that you become a happier and happier person by becoming more and more compassionate. Okay, so it's a matter of practice. So which step we are doing now? Which step? 7-6 done. Step 6 done, which is equalize the actual exchange of self and others. That is done. So that it is nothing special to do. It's just to make a commitment, a strong commitment that henceforth, if at all I'm to cherish somebody, I will cherish others. If at all I'm to be oblivious to others, oblivious to somebody, I will be oblivious to myself. Okay. So make a strong, very strong commitment. And what next? Special recollection of the kindness of others. Okay, this is again another key point for us to bring about the cognitive transformation of your mind to expand your, the compassion towards others. Okay. A special recollection of the kindness of others. Now, what we said right from the beginning of the Bodhicitta practice is that let us not begin by saying that you should be compassionate, and then it is shameful, you are a Buddhist and you are not being kind towards others. No, this is not how we practice. It's not how we practice. So just begin from where we are. We have to identify who we are. We are born. Day one we were born, we all cried. We cried for selfish reasons. This is how we are born with. So with this, and you are looking for selfish meaning, I want the benefit for myself. If you really want to have the benefit, what kind of benefit you like to have? 10%, 50%, 100%. If possible, 100%, the maximum benefit. If you want a maximum benefit, then look around. This is what we said. Look around and see that who is most happy. We see that a small child, tender young child, with a mother. So that is when you are most happy. So what makes this child develop such a happiness there? Because of the love. What makes the child develop such a love, intense love? Is because seeing the mother as a source of benefit. Okay. Now, the benefit means benefit, the kindness. Somebody gives you benefit, so therefore somebody is kind to you. So, the special recollection of the kindness of others. So the whole purpose of this is to experience infinitely, that your compassion is unconditional, that your compassion is infinite. Unconditional means it's not that, okay, if you're a boy, I love you. If you're a girl, I don't love you. Or a girl, I love you. Boy, I don't love you. If you're my relative, I love you. If you're not my relative, I don't love you. If you're from my same religion, I love you. No, these are all conditional. So unconditional meaning, no matter who you are, simply because you are somebody who would love to have happiness and who doesn't want suffering. So therefore, I care for you. I love you. Without any condition of who you are. So with this, the things how to build this love and affection, unconditional love. It's not sufficient that you have to love everybody. So your love for your mother is very conditional. Then your love for your child is very conditional. It's biased. You have to love everybody. How? This must be addressed. If you do not address this, your practice of compassion will remain forever shallow. So you have to address these questions. How to cultivate this love and affection towards all beings? It doesn't happen. Particularly when you see somebody starts to abuse you, that the mere thought of the person irritates you. Forget about the extended love and affection towards that person. So this is the key. How to cultivate this love towards all the beings. So for that matter, we learn from a small child. How does small child develop this unconditional love towards the mother over the span of 3, 4, 5 years? How does child develop this love? By seeing the mother as a great source of benefit. So likewise, if we can see all beings as sources of benefit, then invariably our mind will flow towards them. That is the unconditional love towards all the beings. So how can we see the benefit of all the beings? So this is something which is so unique and the key to bring about the cognitive transformation in your mind, to upgrade you from a very selfish person to the unconditionally loving person to all the beings. Okay. So, do you think it's possible to cultivate this unconditional love to also other beings by seeing that everybody is a great source of benefit for me? Can you think of that? Anybody who likes to share thoughts? How to see all the beings as great source of benefit for you? Anyone? Yes.
I think just if I contemplate how many beings have contributed that I have now a cup of tea. So this already, even if I can address all of them, or like personally, but and this I can see everything or everyone who is mean to me allows me actually to practice.
So what about those people? What about those people who snatch this tea from you?
That's the snatch this tea.
Somebody who snatches away the tea from you?
Yeah, then I can see them as a source to practice compassion, to develop, because
Why should I have to compassion to this person who snatches away?
Because I also can practice to not see that.
But then you feel angry. You don't feel compassion towards that person.
But I can different the person and the deed he is doing, so I don't do a cognitive fusion.
But it doesn't happen, The person snatches. It's the person who snatches away. It's not the person is nice and something else snatches. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that I still can practice compassion or see that this person helps me to practice patience towards him. Like also the Dalai Lama is saying that only it's easy to be nice to your friends or people maybe you don't know so much.
No, why do you have to practice patience towards that person? Why do you have to practice patience towards this person, the nasty person who snatches away your tea?
Because there is no reason, because it's my afflicted.
No, it's the person's mistake, it's not your mistake. He snatched your tea away from you.
It's no mistake from a person, things just happen.
It's not the person's mistake. It's not Putin's mistake. Putin's is his mistake.
And there is a person, but it's not.
No, the person's 100% the person's mistake. No, don't defend Putin. No, it's Putin's mistake, 100%. Very stubborn Putin. Yes.
So for me, what I want to do is to nullify my self-centered attitude and self-trust and ignorance. So the only way to actually do this is to actually, extend myself to others and to, other cherishing attitude. And that way my own self-centered attitude would actually get nullified. So that way others become my source of benefit.
Okay, good. So you two of you are more in the same line. It's very good. Yes.
For me, it's very difficult to practice. Just like you said, somebody snatches something from me, my immediate
reaction with anger. But when some people who are very difficult, and then you see them consistently behaving in a negative way, in an angry way, then it makes me feel that how difficult it must be for their mind to always be dealing with that anger. I mean, this is an extreme case. Then it makes me feel really
Yes,
bad.
that makes sense.
Normally, of course, I react exactly the same way.
Yeah, this is again something experiential which is very profound. Anyone else? Yes, Hansla?
Some kind of like, it happened to me every class that somebody, stole something from that belonged to us. And then the first kind of reaction is, how did this happen and why did this happen? And there's all these emotional things come out, But then when you sit down and you talk about it, and then you feel very sorry for that person. And that person has grown up in an environment where it was taught to steal rather than to live in a and then one can have some kind of, I felt sorry for that person. That person was speaking something.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Sadhanaji.
Economy of production. What I mean by that is mass production. The cost of any one product will be much expensive. It is 1-to-1, but if it is for the larger population, the price comes down, and that is also a benefit.
Wonderful. Jilin?
I don't know whether it is correct or not. Because this time is my son's first visit to India, so when we are in Dharamsala, we see a lot of beggars, and the beggars come very close to him, and then he get very irritated and scared. Then I tell him, these beggars are our teachers. He's telling us to do more good virtues so that the next life will not end up like that, the aspirations. So we will have a better life, afterlife, where we can still receive Buddha's teachings, and we can born in the families to receive the teaching from Buddha.
Good.
So that's, I don't know, I like to see this as a source of benefits because they are giving us a teaching.
Okay. Wonderful. So I agree with all of you, and to make it like very comprehensive, let us say that the benefit that we are seeking is twofold. So first, let's see what benefits can I expect from others. What kind of benefits are there? There are so many benefits. So broadly speaking, we can categorize all these benefits into two groups. One is long-term benefit and short-term benefit. Long-term benefit, you know what they are. You already learned it right from the beginning. What are the long-term benefits? Hey, long-term benefits. Yes, Kirti. Wonderful. Fearlessness and infinite happiness. Right? Fearlessness and infinite happiness. What's the fearlessness in technical terms mean? Nirvana. And the infinite happiness? Bodhicitta. Buddhahood. Okay. So all these many days, Bodhicitta, even the Buddhahood became Bodhicitta. Okay. Jonathan must be dreaming the word Bodhicitta all the time. Okay, very good. Okay, so we see that the long-term benefit is Nirvana and Buddhahood. Short-term benefit, what short-term benefits are there? What short-term benefits? Hey?
Cultivation of our own patience.
Short-term benefits like what? If you ask somebody,
Like as you were saying that what benefit I'm going to get from the person who's snatching something from
no, in a very mundane sense, tell me. No benefit? Huh?
Motivation for
Motivation. Anyone else?
Too much tea is not good for me.
Huh?
Too much tea is not good for me.
Abhishek?
A cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Yes, of course. Yeah, just speak about these things, which is so empirical, which is so common to everybody, right? To get a cup of tea, and then there should be, someone to ring a bell, right? And you ring a bell means the person should be outside, not from the bed, right? The person must have gotten up before you, right? And you feel like, oh no, still we have 1 hour. When you say that person already got up, think of that person, right? Right? So a cup of tea, the food that we get, the cooks are there, right? The food that we get, what are the benefits? Hey, and who's spent on your, say, when you're born, what deposits you have in the bank? No deposits, still you survived. Who gave you all these things? The parents, right? The food, the clothing, the holidays, right? The medical facilities. When you become sick, you become desperate, even if you have $1 billion, but you get stuck somewhere and there's no ambulance to carry you there. Whereas for some people, even though you have no financial resources, somebody else been so kind to take you to a hospital. And even if somebody just gives you paracetamol, even if somebody says, okay, you need some hot water, cold water, you need this. It's all the benefits. And how many came by flight? Raise hands. How many of you came to India, to Dharamsala by flight, by train, by cars? These are all the benefit. Right? Without this, how can you come? Right? Okay, so we see that there are so many benefits. One is long-term benefit, one is short-term benefit. For example, the breakfast here. The breakfast, it is not long-term because you have the breakfast and then, you have one-time breakfast and then you don't have to look for the next breakfast anymore. Right? Again, it is just temporary. Tomorrow also we need breakfast. Right? This is short-term. Whereas in nirvana, you have it for good. You don't want to get the next nirvana, 3 nirvana, 4 nirvana. Although sometimes I feel nirvana many times. Yeah, some complicated people. When I separate from that person, what a nirvana. Yeah, then again, it's not a real nirvana. Again, another complicated person comes. Very complicated. And again, somehow separated. Wow. A real peace comes to you. Real peace, literally. Real peace. There must be like, nirvana must be like this. Yeah. Okay, but real nirvana is you have it once, that's for good. Not that it will disappear again, the next nirvana you have to wait for. No, that is the lasting happiness or long-term benefit. But Buddhahood, you get it once, you get it for all. Get for me, get it all the way through. Okay, so the long-term happiness, long-term benefit and short-term benefit. Short-term benefit, there are two. One on a large scale and one small scale. Small scale, short-term benefit, for example, like breakfast, for example, like chocolate, or for example, like, your clothes, or birthday gifts, right? So these are the small scale, short-term benefits. And there's a large scale, short-term benefits. For example, like you came by aeroplane, this is not something small. It's a huge thing. And for example, what the sadhana said, even a small pen that you use, if this would be produced just for you, it can cost you billions of dollars. Right? This is not something small. So the short-term benefits, there are two. Okay, first the benefit is of two kinds. What are they? Long-term, short-term. And long-term is what? Nirvana and Buddhahood. Okay, short-term benefit, again there are two. What are they? Small scale short-term benefit and a big scale short-term benefits too. Okay, so we have three. And how many different beings, how many other beings are there to whom you have to feed, to cultivate this love towards others? How many kinds are there? Okay, near and dear ones, neutral people, and difficult people. There are three kinds. You're getting it? And the benefit that we get is there are three kinds. And the people, there are three kinds. You're getting it? Say near and dear ones, neutral people, and the difficult people. And the near and dear ones, this, remember the kindness of these beings. Remember the kindness of the near and dear ones. This was not something, a special recollection. This is ordinary recollection, right? So it does not really fall under this category. The step number 7. What's step number 7? Recollection of the special recollection. I think there's this adjective there. Special recollection. Right? By the way, special recollection. Special is an adjective or adverb? Adjective or verb? Yes, it is adjective. It is not adverb. Okay, so keep that aside. Don't worry. This word is so important. A special recollection of the kindness of others. Why special? Special in the sense that ordinary people cannot imagine such a remembering the kindness of others. Ordinary people never do that. Whereas even the ordinary people, they think about the kindness, if they are a little sensible, they think about the kindness of their parents. They think about the kindness of the good people. But nowadays, even that becomes special recollection. Remember the kindness of the parents. Because as you grow older, then you don't remember that. Then you take for granted and you fight with the parents. Right? So then you have to teach them. Again, this is also special. It becomes special. In the olden times, this is not special. This is what everybody has to do. Everybody does it. Nowadays, even that becomes special. Special meaning which the ordinary people don't do and cannot do. And for ordinary people, what? Remember the kindness of the difficult people. What kindness? Right? Ordinary people will just stay away from this. Difficult people, no. So that was what happened to me when I was in my, I think when I was 20, 21, 22, I was so keen to practice Bodhicitta, although my Bodhicitta class will be after 4 or 5 years later. But I was so keen. Right from there, I was learning, attending so many teachings, I was just making notes and then practicing them. So then the sevenfold method, remember the kindness of remembering all beings of one's mothers, remember the kindness, then what pain, the kindness, reflecting the being's life, the great compassion, and the altruism and bodhicitta. Altruism is that altruism is responsible for all the dimensions makes. I will take them to the ultimate happiness. And how? By becoming Buddha, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, except for this person. There was one person in my life. Except for this person, right? Okay, so this is what the ordinary people does. Ordinary people, what they do is like this. They are a difficult person, no way, right? No way. Don't ever think of helping this person. He's so nasty. She's been so nasty, been so unkind to us family. Right? This is ordinary people's thinking. They cannot really think of the kindness of others. So therefore, remember the kindness of the neutral beings, and particularly the difficult people, is referred to as the special recollection of the kindness of others. And Bodhisattva Shantideva, this book, each one of us, we must keep that book, a guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. A guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. You must keep this book as your lifelong guide. Lifelong guide. You must study this, practice it, study this, practice this. This could be extremely helpful to us. So in chapter 8 we see that chapter 8 is, the title of the chapter 8 is meditation. And in it, it's split into two divisions, two parts. The first part is on how to create the conducive factors for your meditation. The first part, like what constitutes the solitude, what criteria are required for a solitude place for your meditation, what is required for you, physically what you need to do, mentally what you need to do, preparing yourself for the meditation. Then second half is what are you going to meditate on? The subject matter. The subject matter that you're going to meditate on, that's explained. So then the Bodhisattva explained practice bodhicitta. That is the content matter or the subject matter of the meditation. So there he said that he described this teaching on equalizing and exchanges of others, this as a confidential teaching. He said he described this as a confidential the instruction. Why confidential? He advised the people not to disclose this practice to the other people, because many people may feel aversion to this, that you have to practice compassion towards your enemies. Most of people will be very unhappy. For example, if you go to Putin and say that practice compassion towards Ukrainians, he'll be very angry. Then he will really think of destroying all these teachings which encourage you to practice compassion towards your enemies. So what I'm saying is that this is something which is unacceptable to many of the ordinary beings. So therefore, in order for the ordinary beings not to leave a very bad imprint, not to practice bodhicitta in future lifetimes, he said, keep this teaching confidential. So therefore, for us, after having taken aspiration bodhisattva vows or bodhisattva vows in general, it is advised that not to disclose this to other people that I've taken bodhisattva vow. Because many people, there's a tendency of the selfishness. When they hear somebody saying that I've taken a vow to help others, they will see that as either as very unwise or something which is totally against your own principle. So therefore they will feel aversion to bodhicitta. The moment somebody feels aversion to bodhicitta, it is a bad imprint in your mind. In the future lifetimes, when you see somebody practicing bodhicitta, you just feel aversion, imprint gets activated. So therefore, it's advised to maintain this teaching and what you do to be confidential. And of course, it doesn't mean that you don't share this with anybody else. You can share with your teachers and people who you feel really very close to and who are in the same boat, who also admire practice bodhicitta. You can share your experiences, but otherwise for other people, keep it more confidential. Okay. So, what we said is that the beings to whom you are to practice compassion, all the beings, they are categorized in three groups. What are they? Near and dear ones, neutral beings, and the difficult people. And how we cultivate this practice, cultivate this unconditional love towards all the beings, but the only way is by seeing them in the light of the benefit, seeing them as sources of benefit for you. This is the only way. If you don't see this, then your practice can become very, very shallow. Very shallow. It will never improve. You may talk about, no, we have to benefit others, everybody is nice, right? And then, but why? Why should you take care of others? No, you're very selfish, you should be kind to us, everybody, we're all interdependent. How are we interdependent? No, we are not interdependent. My food is my food, your food is your food. Right? I go my own way, you go on your own way. How are they independent? Then they have no answer, right? They get angry. So the anger means it's not a real bodhicitta, right? Now you can't even practice bodhicitta with this person who asks you, who interrogates with the questions. Right? How can you practice bodhicitta for all beings? So your practice can become very shallow if you are not able to see the benefit. How the mind works is that your mind feels close with somebody when you get a benefit from there. This is the psychology. So how can we see the benefit of others? If you don't look for the benefit that you get from the three kinds of beings, then your practice of compassion can become very shallow and it will never progress. No matter how much you practice single point meditation, your compassion will never grow. With the wisdom of emptiness, it will grow to some extent, because wisdom of emptiness will shatter anger, because anger is grounded on and self-grasping ignorance. With the wisdom of emptiness weakens the self-grasping ignorance. When that is weakened, then whatever is stacked on this, like anger, will be all weakened. Anger subsides. When the anger subsides, your mind becomes, the mind to push others stops. When the mind to push others stops, then it becomes easier for you to embrace others. You're getting it? Embracing others is compassion, is love. So this love happens with the practice of the wisdom of God, but not with the single point meditation. A single point meditation, at times it can make you even more cold towards others if you're not being very careful. Right? Whereas the wisdom of emptiness can take your compassion to some extent, because it removes the anger. When anger is removed, anger is the opposite force of compassion. When the opposite force is removed, then compassion naturally seeps in. But the compassion cannot grow to such height. So that compassion, due to wisdom and emptiness, is with the arhats also. Arhats, they also have that compassion and given rise to by the wisdom and emptiness. But they don't get the compassion to the level of the bodhisattvas, because they don't practice compassion particularly. So to reach to the level of the compassion as the bodhisattvas, we have to practice it exclusively, separately, the compassion on based on these two methods, by seeing the benefit of others. Okay, so how do we see the benefit of others? So we see that long-term benefit, short-term benefit. Right? Can you think of any benefit which doesn't fall under one of these two categories? No. And the short-term benefit, again, there are two: small scale and the large scale. Small scale meaning somebody who's your friend can give you the benefit. For example, like a chocolate, or say if you're buying something and you have no change, the person can give you 10 rupees or 100 rupees, 1,000 rupees and so forth. The small things which one individual person can give you. These are known as the small scale benefits. So we see that the one who can, generally speaking, the one who gives you the small scale benefit most efficiently, generally speaking, is your parents. You agree with me? You agree with me? You agree with me or not?
Yes.
Okay. So the near and dear ones. In other words, this is definition of near and dear ones. People conventionally who see that these are the people who will be there when I'm in need of help. So the near and dear ones, they are there to provide you with the small scale, short-term benefits. Near and dear ones. For example, like the near and dear ones, what do? When you're sick, they will come to you. Or let's say your scholarship, particularly when you were 10 young, 1 day old, 10, or let's say 1 year old, 2 years old, all your financial needs will be met by your parents. So this is your near and dear ones, right? And you as a young boy, young child, when the elder, the school child, they bullies you, your brother will come to defend you, your sister will come to defend you. These are all the small scale and the short-term benefits. So this is all given to you by the near and dear ones. Okay, now say so you came by aeroplane, and your mother can she give you aeroplane? Huh? One or two mothers can in the world, 1 or 2, right? And look, ceiling. So ceiling, she has been talking about her son all the time in this group, right? My son, my son, my son. There's so much love there. It's beautiful, but ceiling cannot give aeroplane to the son. But don't give that; he'll be spoiled. Yeah, right. And if ceiling is to make this pen, just ceiling, raise your pen, the pen, yes. So your son's pen, keep the son. Okay, the son's pen. How much do you think is that? Look at even the pen. Look at the pen. The difference between the mother's pen and the son's pen. The difference. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at this. Son's pen is given by the mother. But look at the two pens. One pen is just $1. Other pen is $10 minimum. The $10 benefit is the son's. That's given by the mother. This mother's love. You're getting it? This is mother's love. But the mother cannot give you aeroplane. And the mother cannot give you, say, hey, so there's a danger coming from the Russia, right? The mother cannot send all the armies to defend you. The mother cannot send all the millions of dollars on the border. She cannot do that. You're getting it? And for example, say, how many feel very secure here? Very safe, secure, which sense? All of us. You're getting it? Imagine that suddenly you enter in a place like a forest, right? There are several houses there, but nobody's there. You enter by yourself. How safe do you feel? Not safe, not at all. Okay. And same, how many have been to Dharamsala? In the daytime. In the daytime you felt safe or not? Very crowded, no? It's very crowded, small town, very crowded, no? Very crowded? You felt safe or not safe? Very safe. Very safe. Okay. Do you know the VIPs? VVIPs, you know? The VVIPs? What do you mean by VVIPs? Very, very important persons. So, from distance, how do you identify somebody as a VVIP? The person's many security guards. You're getting it? What's the job of the security guards? To make sure that the person is safe. You're getting it? Okay, when you were in Dharamsala, crowded place there, you felt so secure. The security, the VVIP is first feeling, you felt when you were in Dharamsala. You felt it not. What made you feel this sense of security, sense of safety? Because of all the crowd around you. How many people are there? Thousands are there. And security people, the VVIP, they can take maximum 20, 30. And for you, there are thousands of people there to give you a sense of security. You're getting it? Right? What made you feel secure there in this crowd? Hey, tell me. Presence of so many people there. Right? And though even these dacoits, robbers, burglars, they don't really dare to come and strangle you because all these people will strangle him. You're getting it? So this confidence that you have, they're all your security guards. And how many you pay the security guards? You don't pay at all. VVIP, they have to pay minimum so much of money to these security guards. And these security guards, they're very complicated. When you go to the toilet, even security guards may have to come with your toilet. You don't have the privacy. You're getting it? Whereas your security guards, they don't come. Right? When you want privacy, they will not come to you. They will let you be in the toilet yourself. Right? And then you don't have to feed them. They will feed themselves. That's amazing. And you don't have to pay. Wow. And yet they do the same purpose to keep you safe. Right? That's amazing. You think very seriously. Do you know these people? Your security guard, do you know these people? It's amazing. When you want to leave, they will not bother you at all. They will let you leave very freely. But the security guards, VVIP security guards, they will ask you, where's my money? Right? So where's my salary? Right? You do not pay the salary, and they will bother you. But your security guards, they will not even bother you at all. They will come there when you need the safety. When you don't need safety, when you need privacy, they will leave. Right? That's amazing. And you don't have to pay at all. That's amazing. Okay. So thinking of that, we see that there are many benefits we get which your mother cannot provide. These hundreds of people as a security guard, your mother cannot provide. Do you know these people? Huh? Do you know these people? You don't know these people. Crowds, all these thousands of people, they crowd in Dharamsala. You don't know these people, right? For example, even in the metro, in the trains, which train would you take? A train which is empty, nobody's there, or crowded train? Which do you want to take? crowded train is much safer. You're getting it? Crowded train is much safer. With the empty train, anybody can break in and kill you. Finished. Right? And when, let's say, there are two restaurants. One restaurant very crowded, one restaurant very clean, nobody there. Which restaurant will you go? Crowded, better go to crowded. Don't say that, oh, now this is this, only I can go there, I have a piece of, very calm, peaceful. No, there's a reason why people are not going there. And also that the food, they have to have the food made, and nobody's eating, it is getting stale. But here, every day they don't get time, even the food they put there, they don't last even for a few minutes. They will be constantly replaced, fresh food coming. Right? So how do you know that this is a good restaurant and this is not a good restaurant? How do you know that? Because of this crowd. Do you know these people who give you information? You don't know these people. These are neutral people. And all those people who give you security let you feel a sense of safety, which is better. Say where the security guards who you don't have to pay and who have a great sense of respect for you. When you have privacy, they give privacy. When you need safety, you just come. Or some robbers come, even in the toilet they come. Right? So which security guards do you want? The first one. So that is what? That are the neutral people. You don't know these people. These are neutral people. It's because of these neutral people that you get this, the sense of safety. So one time, when I was giving teaching online during the COVID to the Italian group, and we talked about compassion and so forth, and there was one, at the end of the talk, somebody raised their hand and said that, Krishna is so nice, but in reality, the real life is very different. With the COVID, now, how can I practice this in real life? With the COVID, say, the next door, the street, it used to be very crowded, lively street. Now it is all empty. We all go upstairs, on the terrace, look down. It's so empty. No one walking on the street, lockdown. It's so demoralizing. So what should we do? This is what she said, right? So it's so demoralizing. What should we do? Then I said that, are you sure the street is empty? She said, yes, it's so demoralizing. Otherwise it's so lively street where you see people walking here, there, and so forth. And then I said, okay, if I were you, I would feel so happy, because this is a time of COVID, where you can contract COVID any time through anybody, and the more the people interaction with the people, more the likelihood that you will get COVID. So the fact that nobody's there on the street, you should be feeling so grateful to all the people who otherwise are on the street. In a way, the fact that they don't come on the street is telling you that have no fear of the COVID. We will not come to bring COVID to you. We are staying in our own house, right? The proof is that you don't have to come to knock at the door and tell everybody. Do you have COVID? Do you have COVID? You don't have to tell this. You have to tell this. Just we stay in our own room, and you stay in your own room. And from there, the fact that you see that nobody is around, that's the proof that everybody is keeping you safe. Yes, no? Yes, of course. Whereas if the street is full of the people, the chance for you to contract COVID is much more. It's much more. So the fact that these people, they don't come on the street, is so kind of them that it guarantees that. It is telling you, they are telling you that have no fear, we will not bring COVID for you. And we are all staying in our own place. The proof is that the street is empty. Right? Look at the street and we are not there. You should be feeling happy, not feeling low. And she said, yes, that's very true. It's a very different way of looking at it. So, do you know these people? Do you know these people on the street who are not coming on the street now? You don't know know these people, these neutral people. It is their kindness to give you a sense of safety from the COVID. And then who made this rule that people should not be in the street? The government, right? The government. So government people, do you know these people? Yes, some of them I know. And how come that these government people, they're able to create this rule? Because they have the power. Who gave them the power? The public gave them the power. Again, the public is involved. Do you know these people, all these people, millions of people who give power to this government? Do you know these people? You don't know these people. These are the neutral people. It's because of these neutral people that all the benefit you are getting. For example, here, there's no sense of fear. Anything can happen any time. Any missiles can come. Why? Because there's a heavily guarded, the border. The borders are heavily guarded by the Indian government, right? By the Indian government, heavily guarded, so that we can relax, stay relaxed, right? And in the morning, somebody hits the gong, and we're still in the bed. Oh, it's cozy inside, it's raining, it's nice, so I feel nice. I'll get up after 5 minutes. But if there is a tension in the border, missiles being shot, you cannot sit like this. Let me sleep for another 5 minutes, right? So what made you to, relax, stay so peacefully in your bed? What made you do that? Because all the people who are risking their life at the border area. Do you know these people? Do you know these people? We don't know these people, right? And how these people survive there? Through the money of the public. Do you know this public? You don't know that. How much you pay? How much we pay? It's so small. Your mother, your parents cannot provide this security on the border. You cannot provide. But it's because of the public, huge amount, millions and millions of people, their taxes are put together and then consolidated to make sure that the border, they are well guarded. Otherwise, the foreigners, they cannot come to India. And the Indians, they cannot stay in, the safe and the safe. So how come that we are so, in such a luxury, in a very comfortable way, we stay relaxed? It's because of the borders being heavily guarded there, and because of that. And do you know those people who are still alive? We don't know. So thinking of this, we see that it's all the people who risk their life, risking their life for us, that we are enjoying this, the easy time, good time. Okay, so you do know these people? No. If you seriously think about this, it's amazing that we get so much of benefit. That just imagine that you are in Ukraine now. Can you imagine the mental state of us here and the mental state of the people in Ukraine? Can you imagine that? The contrast. There, every day they have to live in fear. When will the missile hit my house and that I'll be dead? But how many of us live like this? No. There's so much a sense of security, calmness, safety here. It's all because of, look at this. These are all because of the innumerable millions. And India is almost like 1 billion. For 1 billion people's involvement that we get this, we can stay very calm, relaxed, and happy. So do you know these people, 1 billion Indian people? Do you know them? You don't know them. These are the neutral people. It's because neutral people that we get this benefit. And anything that we usually talk about is, for example, like the fan, or most of us we use AC. Just imagine the AC. The AC, how much does it cost? It costs maybe like 20,000, 30,000 rupees, right? And we can pay. Not all, some people can pay this, but it's one time. Just imagine, say 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, even the kings and the queens who have the whole wealth of the kingdom, they did not have the privilege of using the AC. Do you agree with me or not? Okay, how many of you use pen? Raise hands. The pen. And this pen, how many of you are using the feather? Raise hands. Feather as a pen. No one, right? If somebody says to use this pen, no, take this pen, take the feather, you will say that no human rights. You will say that there's no human rights, right? Okay. But in those days, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, no choice. Even the kings and the queens who have the whole wealth of the kingdom, they have to use the quills. They have to use the feather. If they have this pen, which is just like 10 rupees pen, 10 rupees pens, for them this will go into the treasure room, in the treasure store. This is the pride of the kingdom. This will be the pride of the kingdom. No other kingdom has this pen. And even the king will dare not use it. You go in the treasure room, treasure store, right? And what about the fans? What about the AC, air conditioners? In those days, they had the whole wealth. Perhaps if I were to put them in the form of the dollars, it would be like billions and billions and billions of dollars they have. But they don't have the privilege to use the air conditioner, right? And what they use, they also, it must be very hot in those days as well. For example, in Delhi, 2,000 years ago, people were there. The Maharajas were there, the kings were there, the queens were there. And they must be feeling hot, as hot as today, right? Do you think so? Don't think so? It's the same with us, right? So how did they survive? Without the AC, how did they survive? Raise hands, just imagine. How did they survive? With the human fan. Human fan, right? On the two sides, which is more effective? Human fan is more effective or the AC is more effective? Human fan cannot give you the cool breeze, right? It's okay breeze. And that too, the human fan, you have to feed them. If you don't feed them, they will collapse, right? AC, you just gives some money, like what? 200, 300 rupees of the electricity bill, and you don't worry about, you have to feed them again, you need water, are you okay, right? And it's so effective. It can give you the coolness as though like you are in the winter, but the human fan cannot make you feel like winter, right? It's so effective. So, if even those kings and queens, they did not have the privilege of using this AC, and we just have the luxury of using this AC. And this AC, if your mother is to make for you, just for you, customized for you, how costly is going to be like? It's going to be billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars for one AC. How? The AC is made of plastics. It has metals. It has electricity. So the metals come from the iron ore, and the plastics come from the petroleum. And all these machines to take the petrol out, even the machines cost you billions of dollars. And then these metals come from the iron ore. Iron ore, not just one generation, many generations of extracting iron from the iron ore. The mining, you have to mine the iron there. Many generations. And how do you know these people who extracted those? These people, don't they have their small children? They have the small children. But where are the small children? The small babies. Were they being taken care of by the babysitters? No, they don't have money. So these babies also need support of the parents and also need somebody to take care of. Where are they? They are under the scorching sun. Let's not forget it. These babies, they are under the scorching sun. And we as the babies, most of us, we are under the very under the cool air facility. Somebody is chasing with the milk for you. But these babies, they are dying. This is how we get all these metals. Likewise. And then these metals, whatever extracted, they have to come on the road. Where's the road? Who made the road for us? Again, the road made by generation after generation after generation. And how many people's hands were involved? Millions of people's hands were involved there in making this generation after generation. And these people, what about their children? What about the family? Think of them. Think of these children. Again, these children, they were just under the scorching sun, Delhi. So right recently, I was in Europe. Say that Geshe, take care of. What to take care of? Right? Oh, there's a heat wave. So what is that like? Heat wave, right? It's going to be very hot. Please take care of yourself. What heat wave? 36 degrees centigrade. What is 36 degrees centigrade? I lived in 46 degrees centigrade. 36 is very pleasant, right? And they're talking it's a heat wave. You're getting it? In Delhi, it's 46 degrees centigrade, 47 degrees centigrade, and people were making road in the daytime under 47 degrees centigrade. Nobody's talking about heat wave. You're getting it? And where are the children? Their children are likewise under 47 degrees centigrade. Many of them died. This is how we get all these ACs. We get all these sophisticated things, mobiles. We get the food, all these rules. These are the legacies of millions of people who died for us. The road, the facilities, all that we get. First, just imagine when she started this. So now look, we come here, the hall is ready, beautiful hall, and we have all the facilities, your rooms, all ready. Just imagine day one when someone came here. Just imagine. Do you see a road to this nunnery? Do you see a road? There's no road. Still there's no road. But how this building they come? How come the cranes they brought it here? The cranes, big cranes. They brought this ready-made Gompa from somewhere else and put it here without the road? No. Every big brick was brought by the people. How many years ago? 20 years ago. Do you know these people? You don't know these people. How many people died who contributed to this building? Your rooms, the kitchen. How many people died? Just imagine. Do you know these people? We don't know these people. These are neutral beings. It is their kindness that we get everything. All the massive, large-scale, the short-term benefits we get from these neutral people. So without these people, it's impossible. I told you, some of us may think that, okay, even the food that we get, the food, just one, say the plate of food that we get on the table. I paid. How much did you pay? You may pay about like 100 rupees or 200 rupees. But if you think of how it came there, the cook is involved. And the Venerable Samala is there as the main supervisor. And the Venerable Tudendezala, Venerable Petrala, and all the other nuns involved here, all the staff involved. And these materials, they came from the shop. Somebody has to bring it from the road to here on the back. Think of that. And then somebody has to bring in the car or truck from the main shop to the local place by the road. Someone who made the road. And then they call the truck driver. And then the materials were from the shop, the shopkeeper. And the materials came from the factory workers. And the raw materials came from the farm, from the agriculture. How many millions and thousands of people were involved there in these. And these also again come from through the road makers. And the trucks, the metals, the wood. Even think of how many tiny creatures died because of these millions and millions of tons of wood being cut for our own benefit. So if you think of this, we see that it's all the kindness of these people. Same that to say, I paid 100 rupees for this food or 200 rupees for this food. What is 200 rupees? People gave their life. People lost their life. How much is a life? One life. One life, there's no money in it. We cannot talk in terms of money, life. So even the kings and queens who have the whole wealth, what is 200 rupees is nothing. They have the whole wealth, they did not have the privilege to use these ACs, use the cars. And yet, we can easily use them, all these facilities. There are the hands, millions of hands involved after generation after generation after generation. This is the benefit that we get from these neutral people. If you serious think about this, we should be feeling so grateful to all these millions of people who will be referred to as the neutral beings. We should think of that. Okay, So with this, we see that the short-term benefit, there are two, small scale and the massive scale. Small benefits that we get from the near and dear ones, and the massive scale benefits that we get from the neutral beings. Think of them, neutral beings who already died, and the neutral beings who are existing today. Then what is next? The long-term benefit. You're getting it? Okay, long-term benefit. And how can we get a long-term benefit? How can we get the long-term benefit? By removing our mental defilements. You're getting it? By removing our mental defilements. And what do you mean by mental defilements? Self-grasping. So finally we see them self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. You're getting it? Okay. Same that your teachers can help you, okay, this is self-grasping, this is self-centered, and so forth. But in practical terms, you have to work to get into the self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. So how to do that? So okay, to make it very quick, let's say that let's say that finally our job must be for the long-term benefit, nirvana and Buddhahood. We need to work on removing our mental defilements. This is the only way. Nobody can give you enlightenment. Nobody can give you fearlessness and infinite heaven. No, your mother cannot give that. Your mother can at the most give you the milk, the food, the chocolate, the scholarships, and so forth. Your parents cannot give you the nirvana and Buddhahood, right? Nirvana and Buddhahood is something that you have to work by removing mental defilements. You will need so many people to help you to remove your mental defilements. You're getting it? Okay. Now remove the mental defilements. To make it very quick, let's say that coming to the retreat. Oh yeah, I learned about the Bodhicitta, I learned about the wisdom of emptiness, and I learned about impermanence, all composite things impermanent, all contaminant things sublimation, so forth. I learned. To a great extent it helps. It helps. Now imagine that, let's say the same, you go home and then you go with the glow in your face, with joy, and usually you enter the room, right? You enter your house, and your mother says, "My daughter, you like a cup of tea." What cup of tea, right? And my son, you like a cup of tea. What cup of tea? Always saying cup of tea, no juice, no coffee, right? And then the mother's always little hesitant, right? She loves you so much, but then she becomes hesitant to offer you something. And today you come there, you are a little different, little glow, joy there, and the mother feels more confident. My daughter, you like a cup of tea, my son, you like a cup of tea. Oh, mom, please sit, please. What do you like to have? Tell me, right? Wow, the mother couldn't believe her eyes. Is it a dream or is it real? Right? For the first time, after all these years, 20 years, 30 years, my daughter is serving me tea. My son is serving me tea. Right? Wow, that's amazing. So the mother is so happy. So mother wants to spend more time. Because she loves you so much. She wants to sit with you. So she has to create some talks. Right? So, you want to be retreat. What is that retreat? Bodhicitta. What is Bodhicitta? She's not interested in Bodhicitta and these things. Simply to create the talks, right? What is Bodhicitta? It must be so nice, right? You look so different, you look so happy, right? Okay, Bodhicitta is a what? I learned something, it's a what, wish to become what, nirvana or Buddhahood, something? Oh no, somebody said primary mind. A primary mind to become Buddha wishing to become Buddha for the Buddha. Wow, that's amazing. She did not understand anything, but she still says it's amazing. It's a primary mind. Right? It's a chief mind, right? So she don't understand anything, just to let the talk flow, that she's happy, to see that you're happy, right? And then your neighbor knocks at the door. The neighbor knocks at the door and says that, "Hey, you have thrown garbage next to my door," right? And then usually what happened? "Hey, get out. If you want to talk to me, get out, I'll come out." Right? Usually this is your style. Today you said, no, I just came. Because you came, the garbage also came. Right? No. Then in your mind, hey, mind your business. In your mind, oh no, Bodhicitta. Right? Oh, Bodhicitta class. No, I'm very serious. Please, calm down. I'll come. Welcome, you brought the garbage. I'll sue you. Right? Then the temperature heats up. The fever heats up. The fever builds up. Right? And then say, hey, now, enough is enough. Get out. Right? Okay. So, your mother could not identify you have still the anger inside. Right? Without getting rid of this anger, Buddhahood is far away, impossible. Your bodhicitta doesn't make sense without removing the anger. So you need somebody to help you identify the anger. Your mother could not identify the anger. Your mother made you divine. Wow, you're very special. This retreat must be very special. You have become so calm. You have become so peaceful. You are transformed. Right? That's why you have become a divine. But this neighbor is able to help you identify that you are not divine. There's anger still inside you. Right? So you have greatly calmed down the gross anger, but subtle anger, which only the enemy can help you identify that. Only by identifying the subtle anger, then you can think of getting rid of this. How many go for medical checkup, annual medical checkup? Raise hands. How many go for annual medical checkup? And then they say, what do you mean by medical checkup? Anyone? What do you mean by annual medical checkup? What do you mean by that? Quick, okay? Yes?
Blood test, MRI scanning.
No. So why do you go there for that purpose?
My situation is different because I got cancer 8 years ago, so I have to do regular checkup.
No, checkup for what?
To make sure I'm healthy.
To make sure that I'm healthy, to see if there is something which I don't know, that there must be some problem inside. I don't know, but the doctors, you are in a position to help me identify that. So is that free or you have to pay?
We have to pay.
You have to pay. And some countries it's free, but actually it's not free. It's deducted from your tax. Right? The doctors are paid from your tax and labeled free. Actually it's not free. Right? So for this medical checkup, somebody is just checking if you have any problem inside, physical problem, not mental problem, physical problem. And for that purpose, you have to give money. Please take this money. Right? Whereas so that is what you call as the doctor. Right? And this, your neighbor, the nasty neighbor, he helps you to identify your mental illness, which you could not identify. And that is for free. You don't have to pay. Right? And that identification helps you not just to give you a healthy body, it will give you long time happiness, ultimate happiness. And that's completely free. That's amazing. You're getting it? So if you think like this, wow, that's amazing. So he identifies my anger inside. What gave rise to this anger? Self-centered attitude. Again, my demon. The self-centered attitude is still there within me. My mother could not identify this. My enemy helped me to identify this. I need to work on more to get rid of this self-centered attitude. You're getting it? And then if you have really practiced the earlier, the 6 steps so well, you feel so angry towards self-centered attitude. Anybody who helps you to identify the self-centered attitude, you are so grateful to that person. Who is that? The difficult person. You feel, literally you will start to feel so grateful to this person for helping you to identify this self-grasping ignorance. And because of that, you work to get rid of this, and this will take you to the next plane of reality, infinite happiness. And whosoever, tell me, what do you mean by near and dear ones? Somebody who gives you joy, who gives you happiness. And if this is where you feel, your mind feel closer, your mind, do you agree with me? That your mind will feel closest to somebody who gives you the maximum happiness. Yes, no? Yes. If somebody gives you $10, if somebody gives you $100,000, the $100,000, your mind will go closer towards the one who gives you $100,000 instead of the $10. Yes, no? Yes. So somebody gives you immediate, the short-term, small-scale short-term benefit, and the long-term benefit, your mind should go much more intensely closer towards the somebody who gives you the lasting happiness. Yes, no? And who is that? your enemies. So when you succeed in this practice, you see that your mind will flow so intensely close towards your enemies, the difficult people. Now, that is not your difficult person. That person to whom your mind moves so close. You feel so close. Much closer as compared to your mind, how your mind feels close towards your near and dear ones. Your mind feels so close to that person. So now for you there is no difficult person. For you there is no enemies. Everyone is your near and dear ones. Near and dear one means that your mind flows freely towards all the beings. This is known as unconditional love, without condition. You may be your near and dear ones, you may be a neutral person, you may be a difficult person. Your mind flows so freely with love and affection towards everyone. This is known as the unconditional love. Amazing. Okay, so what is next now? Altruism. Okay, now you see that it is like ceiling. It is like ceiling, right? Ceiling always think about my son. The son is not there, son's pen is still there, lying there, right? So now it becomes like ceiling and her son. You always think of all the beings all the time. Always think of all the beings all the time. Just see the beings, there's such joy coming in you, right? Okay, so what is that thing? For example, the mother and the child. If the child to whom you love mother loves so much, if the child is in pain, what is the mother's reaction? What's the mother's reaction? That may you be freed from the pains. This is compassion. And if the mother sees that your child does not have the chocolate and all the other school children have the chocolate, what will the mother feel? May you also have the chocolate. May you also have the happiness. That is loving kindness. You getting it? So now that you feel love and affection, okay, don't raise your hands for the time being. Let me complete it. Right? If you raise hands, you are not focusing on what I'm saying. You will miss many points. Okay, so let's say that now you feel that your love and that you feel extremely loving, caring towards all the beings, be it near and dear ones, neutral beings, and the different people. Your mind flows so intensely towards everyone. Okay, now it is like you become a mother and all others are like a very loving child, loving children. So, what's the plight of these children? What's the plight of the sentient beings? They are suffering terribly. You agree with me? If you listen to somebody else sitting next to you, more closely, you will have, everybody has a story to share. Very sad stories to share. You getting it? So when you feel that, because you love them so much, you wish that you be freed from the suffering and the cause of suffering. You have happiness and the cause of the happiness. That is known as the loving kindness and compassion. The next question: who is going to take this responsibility? Who will remove the suffering of all the beings, and who will give the happiness to all the beings? Who will do that? You have generated a very strong wish that all be free from suffering and all have the happiness. But who is going to take the responsibility? This next question. You getting it? This next question. So the next, yes, that's true. Who is going to do it? I will do it. I will take the responsibility that all beings are free from suffering, that all beings have the maximum happiness. I will take the responsibility. Right? I will take the responsibility. So that is altruism. Step number 8. You're getting it? That is altruism. Okay, with this in mind, let us all say, some of you may be bureaucrats, some of you may be politicians. Politicians may not be here. Politicians, right? They're not so interested in such things. Okay. The politicians, even though you may not be politicians, you might have politician brothers, sisters, father, mother, uncles, aunties, so forth. So my message to you is what we've learned thus far. Step 8. Step 8 says that I will take the responsibility that all beings are free from suffering and the cause of suffering. You getting it? What would be the reaction of the mother if the child is arrested for having stolen something and put to capital punishment. What is the mother's reaction? If the mother has the power to free the child from the capital punishment, what will the mother do? Mother will free the child, or mother will, no, you deserve this. What will the mother say? Mother will free the child. Let us not forget this example. Let us not forget this example simply because that you have the authority. For example, I'm the director of Tibet House. It does not mean that anybody who makes some mistakes, you are fired, right? You are fired. I'm sorry, we cannot do anything. This is how it works. If this is my attitude, I should not be on this seat. I should not be on this seat. The point is that everything is a process, particularly from the Bodhisattva path. Let us not forget this. A mother whose child is involved in a crime and put to capital punishment, and if the mother has some way the mother can manipulate the situation to rescue the child, the mother will rescue the child. Don't say that you deserve it. Mother will never say this because the mother loves the child. You're getting it? This should be an attitude. By no means we should justify harming somebody else on the basis of the rules and regulations. You're getting it? These rules of Tibet House, this rule of this rule of this institution. No? In other words, see how you can benefit others. Right? There's always a way. Even the rules are made to benefit others, not to torture others. Let's not forget it. Let's not forget it. You're getting it? Even the rules are made to benefit others, not to torture somebody else. From this, let us not be good at saying no. Let's be good at saying yes. When you say yes, it's not that easy. You have to make it happen. To say no, you don't have to do anything, but it will hamper your bodhisattva path. Let's not be good at saying no, right? Okay, say, can we get a letter? No, I'm very sorry. It's holiday today. I'm very sorry, it's not possible. Say, I need some place, for example, in Tibet House. Okay, say, I have no place to go. Can I stay for, say, a few hours here? Can I keep the bag? No, this is not the clock room. This is the clock room. Place where in the airports and in the train stations, you pay something and then there's a room allocated there where you can keep your baggage there. Tibet House is not a clock room, this is office. No, this should not be our attitude. Don't be good at saying no. Learn how to say yes. Yes means you have to make it happen. You have to work harder. You have to think more. Only then your compassion works. Your compassion increases. And your intelligence increases. Your skillfulness will increase. You're getting it? Okay. I'm very glad that Venerable Tudentinzinla, right? So she must be attending the Tibet House classes, and she must have heard this before. And when I reached here, I was meeting her for the first time, and she said that still there are more applications coming for this retreat. Usually it's very unconventional. The retreat is already full. It's already full. Now the answer is very easy. Any request comes, either you don't reply, or you say no, it's full us. But she did not say no. She said, come, somehow we'll make, although there's no room available, come, we'll make something possible. And what did she tell me? She told me that I learned from you not to be good at saying no. Learn how to say yes. This is why I said yes, and now I'm sorting out how to make it happen. Sorting out how to make it happen means you're using intelligence, how to make things happen. You're getting it? So your intelligence grows, your compassion grows, your skill grows. Bodhisattvas, one of the unique qualities of bodhisattvas is the skillfulness. Where somebody is going where the train is going towards the dead end, towards the cliff, falling off the cliff, the bodhisattva's job is how to make the train, and the train driver is so happily driving towards the dead end, and ignorance is bliss, dying. And the bodhisattva, if you say that, no, you are done, then who say, who are you? Stop, get out. And bodhisattva will make friends with this person, may even have a drink together. vodka together, and then make him a little drunk and change the course. Right? This is a skill that we have to learn. This is a skill that we have to learn. How to help others when others are going in the wrong direction. How to help others when others are desperate. You're getting it? This is where the Bodhisattvas are required. This is where you require the skill. First, keep in mind, learn to say yes, don't worry. And I was so fascinated. In fact, some of these people I see in, the way institutions, you can, somehow there's always some way out. As well as it is a genuine situation, you can help this situation, even if it doesn't fall under your rules, regulations. It is even if that is outside your rules, regulations, still you can make it happen. If the situation is genuine and if you are genuine, you're getting it? If there's some corruption involved, then nothing can be done. If the other person is exploitative, the person who comes to you, comes here to exploit you, exploit the situation, you should be smart. Bodhisattvas should be very smart. The person should be very genuine and desperate. If not desperate, then you can give direction. Okay, this rules, regulations here. You sense that the person is not desperate. You can tell the person that there is this possibility there. You can pay some money and your baggage can be kept there. There's the provision there. And if you don't have money, don't worry, I'll send a staff there. We'll make it happen. Don't worry. Right? And if the person is so desperate, the person feels so fearful that I don't know any place around me except Tibet house. And then if you keep it, well good. If not, then they have no other choice. If this is a situation where the person feels so much fear, even if you say that this safe place there, person feels so fear, you must make sure that the fear is garnished off. So there, although it is not a cloakroom, that's true. But you can say, fine, hey secretary, keep it there, give him some tea, give him some food, let him feel comfortable, right? Make things happen. Don't be good at saying no. And you must send this message to your brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, friends, everyone. Be good at saying yes, don't be good at saying no. You're getting it? When you say yes, it's not that easy. When you say no, it's very easy, but it is very stupid because we don't learn, we don't grow out of this. We don't grow your intelligence. You don't grow your intelligence, you don't grow your skills. The Bodhisattvas, one of the criteria required for the Bodhisattvas is to be extremely skilled. This skillfulness is required. Skillfulness driven by compassion and intelligence. Okay, this is what is expected. So with this in mind, the next is that altruism. I will take the responsibility to make sure that all beings are freed from suffering, that everybody is happy. I'll take this responsibility. That is altruism. So here, there's no separate technique. It's only to just build a very strong commitment. I will take the responsibility. Even that is very difficult. I will take the responsibility. So when you say this, verbally say this, mentally say this, and every time you say, although your mind resists, for example, let's say if there's suddenly a house on fire and you know that somebody is trapped in the house, what's your reaction? Many people will run away to save their own life. Some people will jump to risking their life. You're getting it? So this is, in a way, is the imprint of the altruism. Take the responsibility to help others. So those who run away, this altruism is much less. But it is also dependent originated. So you can build this if you don't have it. How to build it? Initially just build it mentally and verbally. I will take the responsibility that all beings are free from suffering, that all beings have the happiness. So the earlier Tibetan great masters, they teach the people when someone is so selfish, extremely stingy, so selfish, who does not even dare to spend one penny to others. So there, the teacher knows that this person is very stingy. The teacher teaches the person how to practice his generosity. Say, okay, is there somebody has some coins? Some coins? Or some 1, 2 rupees, 10 rupees? Very quick. Yes. So what is this? 5 rupees? Is it 5 rupees? Okay, let's say 5 rupees. For 5 rupees, what do you get? Star chocolate, a small chocolate, right? Okay, so even this 5 rupees, you cannot give it, right? Oh, you want to give it to, hey, there's a neighbor there, there's the person there who is who is desperately in need of money, help. So can they offer 5 rupees? No, right? So just think of offering it. So something happens inside. There's some knot there. It pulls you like this. You're getting it? And somebody, what is 5 rupees? It's very easy. 10 rupees easy. 100 rupees? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay. 1,000 rupees? Are you sure? Right? Yes. And there are other people who can contribute? No, nobody's there. So you're the only one. Okay. 10,000 rupees? No way. No, you practice Bodhicitta. You're practicing Bodhicitta. 10,000 rupees. Yes, I attended Thosamling Bodhicitta retreat. Yeah, I should learn how to say yes. But to say yes, when you say, okay, yes, then what's happening inside? What's happening? You can feel the not there. You can feel it, literally you can feel it. That's amazing. That knot is so tight, you can feel it. When think of, you are yet to put your money in the wallet. Mentally you think of giving, right? When you think of giving it, you could feel the knot, the resistance comes. No way, right? Okay, let's talk about it tomorrow. Which means you are skipping this topic. Let's talk about tomorrow, right? And tomorrow never comes. In a way, this knot is there. This knot. You can literally feel it. This knot is a knot of the self-centered attitude. You're getting it? And this knot, every time you say, may, I will take the responsibility that all beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that I will give billions of dollars to the people. I'll give billions of dollars to the poor people, right? When it comes to 10,000 rupees, even that you cannot give. But when you say, I'll take the responsibility to give billions of dollars when needed. When you say this, your knot is, every time the knot is being loosened. One knot is loosened, again the next knot that is loosened. This is how it happens. So, the great Tibetan masters, they skillfully teach some of the people who are so stingy how to practice generosity. They said that, okay, this 5 rupees, can you give to the person on the street? No way. Then they say to your brother? No. To your mom? To your dad? No. To your mom? No, you have to give it to somebody. If you don't get this, I will not give you the 100 rupees. If you give this 5 rupees to somebody, I'll give you 100 rupees. To your dad? No. But you have to give it to somebody. To your mom? Okay, because he knows that the mom will give it back. Right? You give it to the mom. And then constantly look at the mother to remind her that you should come back to me. Right? Okay. So in some cases, even that doesn't happen. So the teachers, what they teach is that, okay, don't worry, if you don't want to give it to your mom, don't give it to mom. Can you give it from your right hand to left hand? Can you give? Oh, that's easy. That's left hand is also my hand, right? Okay, then give it. I'm giving 5 rupees to my left hand. Now I give it to the right hand. These are the trainings, skillful trainings taught. You're getting it? Skillful trainings. Okay, so we practice this. I will take the responsibility that all beings are freed from suffering, that all beings have the maximum happiness. Just make a very strong commitment. Okay, what is next? Bodhicitta. We'll stop here for today. Bodhiswara Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswadhyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswadhyata. Let us turn to page 52 for the dedicated prayers. Let us wholeheartedly get dedicated merit, the dedicated merits that we gathered today, as in the following verses. I dedicate merits thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the three times, and to the holding of the doctrine of scripture inside. May I in all eyes through the force of this merit, never separate from the four ways of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, the renunciation, Bodhicitta, perfectly in the two stages. From our two connections, vast space that are recognized from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes,